What's up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream as the Lakers get ready to set the as the Lakers get ready to face the Chicago Bulls at Chicago at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And it looks like an interesting storyline is back with Andre Ingram. Man, shout out to him for getting another 10-day contract, second year in a row with the Lakers. You got to be excited about this because this guy has seriously been putting in the work for years. So he this time he gets a chance early on. Last year he only got to play the final 3 games, and he balled out. So I'm kind of excited to see if he still has a game this time around. And let's change the narrative into some positive talk for the Lakers. It's been nothing but negativity, the second part of the season. So this should be interesting. Now, the way that Andre Ingram finished the season last year, I thought he should have got a contract somewhere. So I was kind of shocked that nobody really reached out. I mean, they're acting like the guy's 40. He's still in his 30s. And he definitely had he had a nice jumper to him, and he played some good defense. So I was a little shocked nobody reached out to call this kid. But nonetheless, I'm happy for him today. He should get some run here with the Lakers unless Luke Walton is completely hating on him for some reason, which I doubt. So hopefully he gets some run. Now, Lakers face the Bulls. These are 2 tanking teams at this moment. Kuzma's back, so that's more good news for us as far as the game goes. But, the Lakers, it'd be in their best interest to lose out for moving forward. As much as I hate losing, I hate to say that. I never cheer for the Lakers to lose. If they win, I'll be happy with it. But, this is one of those tank-off games where we're currently slotted in 11th place in the West. In the NBA as far as the tankathon goes. And it'll be crazy, man, to see who loses this game, right? Who's gonna tank harder today? So we'll see. But still, should be fun to watch Andre Ingram and Kuzma back with the lineup. As far as LeBron, I'm not sure how many minutes they're gonna play him, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The Bulls have been playing some pretty decent basketball, even though their record doesn't speak to that fact. But they had, behind Zach LaVine and a couple other players, they had been balling out. So it'll be interesting to see what they do tonight. I know they're harvesting a couple of injuries themselves. So I'm not really expecting much from Chicago. But on the other hand, the Lakers, okay, Andre Ingram, Kuz, LeBron, we got plenty of firepower to win this game. So I wouldn't even be shocked if we won this. What are my thoughts on Bobo? I like him as a prospect. He still seems very raw, but any 7-footer who could stretch the floor is always something, that the Lakers could potentially look at. There's a couple of prospects there. It seems to be another year where, one player could potentially slip through the cracks and the Lakers could pick him up. So they're going to have to do their scouting and all this stuff, right? But most likely, whoever they pick up is going to be included in a trade package if the Lakers do trade for a superstar. But again, you guys know where my stance is on that. So he said Russell Westbrook. Oh, you want me to talk about Russell Westbrook? Well, you guys know how I feel about steroids, but in this instance, I think he had the right to express himself, even though he did go overboard with the stuff he said. You should never talk about nobody's family and stuff like that. But fans are getting. I've heard that fans in Utah were racist. Not all of them, of course. You're never talking about all of them. But I heard that they say a lot of racist stuff down there in Utah. It's not the first time that I've heard this. So, we give Russell the benefit of the doubt. And look, man, if somebody was to say something like that to me, I probably would turn back and tell him something as well. Maybe not as something as like anything close to what Russell Westbrook said. But, I mean, it's sad when fans, they think that mouthing off stuff to NBA players and getting under their skin is a good thing. One thing, talk trash all you want about his on-court performance. If you don't like Russell Westbrook, go ahead and attack him on the court. Even go as far as to call him steroids, whatever. But see, once you start going back into racism and stuff like that, man, you're crossing the line as a fan. And you can't, man. You can't. NBA players have feelings as well. They're 7 feet tall, most of them, 6 feet tall, but that doesn't mean that they're, emotionless. They have feelings as well. So at the end of the day, we got to respect NBA players off the court. You can't be calling them names and trying to get under their skin other than, on the court stuff. And it's one thing I've myself have gone as far as to call Dwight Howard a diva and stuff like that. But most of it has to do with his on-court performances and the way he acts on the court. Off the court, I'm not really gonna attack anything personal. His personal life is his own. Whatever he decides, whatever his sexual orientation, whatever, that's his business. So I'm really not gonna criticize it. So that's the way NBA fans should be. We shouldn't really. It's one thing to be critical on players. Now, if they come at my team, I'm definitely on attack mode. Like Patrick Beverly, I call him all kinds of names and stuff like that. But he's normally trying to disrespect my Lakers, so that changes everything. But I still don't go at his family or nothing like that, nothing personal like that. So. He said, "What's up, bro? Love from Nicaragua." That's what's up, man. Nicaragua's in the house. That's awesome. He said, "Racism isn't cool. Absolutely not. And we're in the 21st century. We really should be over that stuff, man. But a lot of people, living in the past." He said, "I promise on God, believe me. That's emotion. When you're not wrong, you said stuff like that. So I side with Russ. I believe dude said racist stuff." Yeah, they investigated it already and they banned the fan. So that's the good news. He was banned from the Jazz Arena. It's not a good look on them had they not took action. So it's good that they took Westbrook's side, and Russell Westbrook got fined as well for the stuff he said, because it's still not appropriate. Talking about beating on somebody's wife and stuff like that. That's definitely not appropriate, but it is what it is. He said, "Dan looking like a royal Lakers fan." Absolutely, man. You have to still rock your colors, whether you're losing or winning, man. I'm proud. I bleed purple and gold just like you guys, man. He said, "It's actually a scientific fact that white Mormons are weird." Again, I'm not here to attack anybody's religion or beliefs or nothing like that, man. So no comment on that. He said, "Utah has the most racist fan base." That's what I've heard. But again, I've never been in that arena, so I can only comment on what I know. And that's what I've heard. But I don't know, man. I'm sure there's plenty of racist fans across, the United States. I know Boston has plenty of them. I've been on Twitter and exposed a couple of them who have said racial things to their own players, like Kyrie, when they had bad games. So there's plenty of racism, man. Sadly, in our era, there's still plenty of it. But those guys, most of the time, they hide under rocks somewhere, and then they come out with their Twitter fingers, like acting like tough guys. But when they're actually out on the street, I guarantee you nobody would have stepped to Russ and said anything, because he would have punched his lights out. He said, "Dan got that 2K. He got that 24 karat gold silk sheepskin." Oh man, no, it ain't sheepskin. Absolutely not. But thanks, man. Good looking out. Yeah, it's that fly shirt underneath, man, purple and gold. He said, Lakers, Bulls, one team whose season is over and one team who's just bad. You know what that means. Tank. Yeah, we'll see, man. I hope Kuz balls out. I need something to be excited about. I'm really cheering for Andre Ingram tonight. I want to see him drop a 20-plus point game. That'd be sweet. But who knows if Luke Walton even gives him playing time. He said, "As mature adults, we all have to ignore racism and hate and embrace each other with love and positivity." I second that, Chris Jones. Absolutely. And people have asked me what my favorite race is. Like, that should even be a question. I love every race. I'm colorblind, man. We are all descendants of Jesus Christ, man. And at the end of the day, if we can't see that, we're ignorant. It don't matter what color you are. He said, "How was your girl's B-Day?" It was great, man. It was great. We spent some time with the family. I bought her some gifts, and we went out. So it was nice. I hope the Lakers trade Bron next year. Bring back Kobe. Nah, come on, Jeff. We can't be living in the past. Kobe's not going to come out of retirement, and we don't need him to. It'll just be staining his legacy at this point. He's not going to be the same player. Father Time has taken over. So we got to let our heroes, be legends and leave them in the past. It's a new era. The best thing we can hope for is another max free agent. He said, "Only the Jews are his descendants." LOL. Nah, man. You got to stop with that racist stuff. I'm telling you, man. Basketball is like metal music, universal. There you go. He said, "What do you think about the coaching staff leaks about Randall and Lopez? People saying that there's a lot of reports that are going to come out about the front office." Well, I want to know who in the world is leaking this stuff. I feel like somewhere, Jim Bus is still behind all of this stuff, man. I feel like he's trying to sabotage Magic because Magic stepped in and pretty much got him to step out. So that's what I'm saying, man. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, it's weird that all these reports are coming out. Like, who's behind this? It can't be Genie. It's definitely not Magic and Rob. Why would they sabotage themselves? So the only other person I could think of is Jim Buss. So a lot of these reports are probably false, and they're just coming out. They're trying to get Magic to leave so they could take control back. So stay woke, Laker fans. He said Kobe should play in Ice Cube's 3-on-3 league. Now, I don't want Kobe to play anywhere, man. I want Kobe to be the legendary mogul, inspirational person that he is and just keep doing his thing. But I won't lie. If he did, for some reason, decide to come out of retirement, I'd rather him come to the NBA than waste his time in a retirement league. You know, I mean, that's a fun league to watch for those of us that don't like to let go of legends. But at the same time, do I want Kobe there or continue to break records in the NBA? I think I would much rather have him come back. He said, yo, Dan, I watched your past videos, especially the video when you were upset with the loss versus Dallas. Your asset changed so much. Oh, man, it hasn't, bro. It really hasn't. I was super upset that day, man. I just let loose. That's all it was. I still have the ghetto side of me. Trust me. Hey, bro, what pick do you think the Lakers will land? I think it's going to end up being a top 10 pick. If we continue trending like this, you know, then I think we're going to end up having a top 10 pick. And this is a good draft to have that pick in, whether we keep it or trade it. He said, why did Magic put this trash, Dan? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, you're going to have to rephrase that question. Do you mean the lineup, the roster? I don't know. What up, Dan? How's it going? It's going good, Arthur. Thanks for asking, buddy. It's going real good. Hey, Dan, who's the most improved team this year? I got to say, the team that has shocked me has been the Denver Nuggets. So nobody saw them. I mean, we saw the potential, but nobody thought they would make this kind of leap. They're up there. The Thunder are up there. There's plenty of teams. But the Milwaukee Bucks, you know, who would have thought they would have been on the top? Hey, Dan, who's the most he said, are you going to show the game? I never show the game, man. It's just a pregame talk. But thanks for coming. He said, Dan, how is your mom doing? She's doing good. She's actually out in Mexico visiting family right now, so she's doing really well. He said, we have a hard schedule ahead, which is good. Yeah, like I said, I think we're going to end up with a top 10 pick. So it'll be interesting to see. Imagine if we win the lottery, then who do we pick? I mean, a lot of people want that, you know, what is it, Ja Durant or Ja Durant or something like that. I kind of looked at his highlights. He looks solid, but I haven't seen enough of his game to really know what type of player he is. His explosion looks like a Russell Westbrook type guard, though. But again, I never like to make these comparisons because they never truly pan out. What is my favorite jersey of all time? That's a tough question. I have to get back to you on that, man. I probably have to go through all the past jerseys that the Lakers ever donned. I do like the Mamba Black City Night ones. Those were dope. The royal blue with the cursive writing, those were pretty cool. But they were a little. I mean, there's been way better jerseys than that. So, yeah, John Morant. Sorry, Morant. I said Durant. Yeah, Morant. That kid looks good. You know, you got Cam Reddish out there. You got Zion Williamson, of course. And then you got a bunch of underrated players as well. So I can't wait to continue diving into that and then eventually dropping that top five players the Lakers should pick with their first round pick video I'm going to be dropping for you guys this summer. Dan, is Magic Johnson gone after next season if we are not a winning team? Yeah, I think so. I think Magic Johnson put the pressure on himself to get us back to playoff contention. And he said it himself, he would step down if the Lakers didn't land stars. He didn't say star. So there's a lot of pressure on him this summer. He said, I'll take R.J. Barrett over Zion. I have to agree. I think R.J. Barrett is better suited for the NBA than Zion Williamson, even though Zion is, of course, the flashier, most explosive player in the college basketball. So I agree. So then I think the coaching staff leaked the info because they know they're going to get fired. Maybe so. But whoever's leaking this information is not good for the organization and should be removed immediately. That's all I know. Marketing was 7. Mitchell was 13. We could land a stud at 10. Absolutely. And one thing the Lakers front office has done is they've done their research really well at the draft. We've gotten really good players at the draft, so even late in the first round. So I think this is a perfect year for us to pick up another steal. You say your average high school baller better than LeBron on defense. Fact or fiction? That's fiction. LeBron has just been disinterested because we haven't been in playoff contention or within reach of it. And I think LeBron would have turned it on in the playoffs. So, yeah, that's definitely fiction. Dan, what do you think about Eltor Messina as coach of the Lakers? He is the assistant for the Spurs, and he would be a no-nonsense coach that would make the players play hard and smart. Yeah, those are the type of coaches we need. But again, I want a player development coach. So as long as he's good at that and he gives the young guys a shot, then let's go for it. He said, Dan, see, that's why I'm saying we should start tanking to get R.J. Barrett, despite we have Andre Ingram. We need more shooters. Let's tank at least further down in the standings to get him. It will be a good addition. Now, here's the sad part, Arthur. We don't even have to tank. Currently, with all the injuries we have, we're going to automatically lose a lot of games. So we're pretty much set for the tank mode, But I understand what you're saying. Dan, is it true that Antoine Jameson is our scouting director? I think he has a job within the front office. I'm not sure what that role is. I'll have to look into that. The league will hate us even if luck is on our side and we land if we landed a top 5 pick. Oh yeah, they always like to hate us. They want to keep us down forever. That's why everybody's talking smack on the Lakers right now. But it's all good. It's all good. He said, DTLF, who is the better basketball mind, Jerry West or Magic? Well, of course, Jerry West. Jerry West for sure has the credentials. I mean, he has done everything from, he's done everything, man. He drafted Kobe Bryant. He went to Memphis and turned them into a playoff team. Then he went to Golden State and turned them into a championship team. And look, he's helping these bum-ass Clippers get to the playoffs. So, he's doing his thing. That's what Jerry West has always done, Mr. Clutch. But at the end of the day, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to let Magic Johnson basically get all the blame for this season. I know a lot of people are. There's been a lot of Laker fans out there just trying to trash Magic Johnson. It's easy to point a finger at one person, but I actually think there's a couple of places we could point the finger this year. And, Magic takes a big chunk out of that because he didn't build a good enough team to compete this season. But at the same time, we do have a GM, last I checked, Rob Pelinka, and Jeannie Buss still running stuff at the top. So at the end of the day, we got to keep it 100. Everybody's at blame, but especially Magic and them. They have one more year to get things right. That's all I say, man. This summer, and that's it. After that, if this team does not make it to playoffs next year, Magic will probably step down himself. He loves the Lakers, man. You got to still respect Magic, even though he kind of had a bad season as far as president of basketball operations goes. But, I mean, how many bad years did we withstand with Mitch and Jim? And like I said, I think he's still pushing, but I think Jim Buss is still pushing buttons behind the scenes as far as drafting, coaching decisions and stuff like that goes. Because I think if Magic truly had full power, he would have been blasted Luke Walton into the atmosphere. He would have been fired him. So we can't blame it all on Magic just yet. And we'll see what happens this summer. I still believe that they can get something done. They came in with a lot of promise. They turned veterans into good draft picks and stuff like that. So they haven't done all bad. I'm not going to forget what they've done. And then we'll see what happens this summer. He said, Mitch and Jim were developing the youngsters. Mitch and Jim hired Luke Walton. Last I checked. Mitch and Jim, before that, hired Mike D'Antoni or Phil Jackson. Last I checked. Then it was Mike Brown, right? Not in no particular order. I'm just saying all the mistakes they made. And then they traded for Dwight Howard, right? They traded for Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. That didn't work out. People forget about that. Then they went and they gave those stupid, ridiculous contracts to Mozgov and Deng, which are the reasons we lost our young core. So really, they lost us a young core. Don't forget it, please. Don't be those type of fans that forget how bad we had it before Magic got here. Magic actually tried turning things around. He actually helped land us a superstar, clear cap space. Now we got to go land a second superstar. We had one bad year under Magic and Rob, and I'm not ready to sell the team yet, man. Some of you guys are ready to sell the dang team. You guys are talking about Jeannie should sell the team. Man, we gotta be a little bit more patient with this front office. Remember, they're trying to right the ship that Mitch and Jim left. They left this team so messed up. We traded a draft pick for Steve Nash. We just made stupid mistake after stupid mistake. And they sat on their hands and watched us tank for years for years, only to have nothing to show for it because you signed Mozgov and Dang. Crazy, man. Yeah, they gave up Kent Bazemore. There's so many players they gave up. The media is killing the Lakers right now, Dan. Yeah, they hate the Lakers. They love to hate on the Lakers, and that's okay. That's why we have this channel, man. We could come here and talk real basketball, without taking all the bias out. And again, you guys remember, I was super excited when Magic and Rob were hired. And I knew the team would turn it around, but I didn't anticipate us having an off year like this. I really did not. And that really caught me off guard. So that kind of got me wondering a little bit about Magic and Rob Pelinka. But see, me wondering is not going to overreact and talk about trade LeBron, fire Magic. That's not how you solve things, right? We need some more stability. And that means we just got to get on the same page. Now, I've heard some people wanted Julius, some didn't. I heard some people wanted Alonzo, some didn't. We need, as a coaching staff, front office, and management and ownership, they all need to get on the same page and make sure that when they make a decision, they're all on board, because I don't want to hear these conflicting reports a year later. I don't want to hear this stuff. This just shows that the front office is still not stable, right? And you can't. Instability is not pointed at one person, right? Is Lonzo playing today? No, he is not. He's most likely out for the season. But Kyle Kuzma is playing today. Andre Ingram. So at least we got one of our Ingrams back, right? He said, people who say Magic is trash, they don't have any basketball IQ. They have to learn to be patient and give people a chance. I agree with that. Now, I won't say they're trash, because these are just impatient Laker fans that have seen us struggle and they want instant results, right? So it's not their fault. It's Mitch and Jim's fault, because they put us through the 6-year struggle and they made plenty of mistakes along the way. If you guys think about it, since Jerry Buss's death, rest in peace to him. Since his death, though, the Lakers have not had a successful season. And that's pretty sad. That means that there hasn't been a successor to the great Jerry Buss, not even his son, Jim, right? But all I'm saying is we got to have a little bit of patience for Magic. What is this, his second or third year already? And I give him one more season before I make total judgment. You guys know I've been fair to everybody. I was fair to Luke Walton. Everybody started criticizing him early. I said, let's give him a chance. Let's see what he could do. And he didn't really improve much. That's why I was against Luke Walton for a while, even before the mainstream media started throwing him under the bus. I gave everybody a shot. I'm giving Magic the same shot. Oh, you're welcome, Brian. It's my pleasure, man. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's what I'm saying. People forget how bad Mitch and Jim are. I mean, these are the guys who handed out two of the worst franchise. I think these were the franchise's worst contracts ever, and Lil Deng and Timothy Mozgov. And by the way, at the stroke of midnight, we pulled off the Mozgov deal. If that doesn't tell you how horrible that is and how we were saved from his clutches, then nothing will. He took over in late 2017. Yeah, so what is this? His second year, barely? Let's give Magic a little more time than that. He said, Dan, is LeBron just as good next season as he has been in years and before in Cleveland? He will be 35 years old and aging. Yeah, of course, LeBron James is not going to be that good anymore. Of course not. But he can, even at his worst, I think he'll still be very good. He'll still be like a mid 20-point per game scorer, 7-7 guy. And that's more than good enough to help us make a title run if we have the right team there. If we have another superstar, especially if it's an impact player like Kawhi or KD, and you have a bunch of good role players and up-and-coming young players, you can definitely make a title run. But, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The key is going to be LeBron's health. Now, a lot of people are mad because we missed the playoffs, but I'm looking at the positives. Positives. We get a lottery pick out of it. That's number one. It could be either a trade asset or develop for the future. Number two, LeBron's going to get some rest. And number three, the coaching staff was exposed, so they're going to get replaced. So those are the top three things that are good about us missing the playoffs this year, right? And yes, I hate that we're missing it again. 6-year drought is no joke, but it could be a blessing in disguise. Not just that, but we could use this as a recruiting tool to get another free agent. See, if I'm a free agent now, the narrative would change. LeBron couldn't get the Lakers playoffs by himself. Now we need you, Kyrie or KD or Kawhi. we need you to help us get to the playoffs. And then when LeBron retires, this is definitely your team. For now, y'all could share the glory. But there's no way that you're going to get shunned since LeBron couldn't get this team to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So had we gotten to the playoffs, LeBron would have looked like the hero, the savior, and then maybe no free agent would have looked this way because they would have said, oh, no, there's too much credit going to LeBron there. That's all I'm saying. Like, this could all be a blessing, and I think we could still recruit a top free agent. I really do. I don't buy all the hype. We're trading for AD and getting Boogie make us a top contender. It'll certainly help, but it depends on the role players. Role players matter. Dan, are you willing to let LeBron win enough rings in LA to pass Kobe? Look, man, I'm not a Kobe stan. I'm a Kobe fan, but I'm a Lakers stan. Lakers first. The more LeBron wins in LA, the better it is for Laker fans. I'm not comparing Kobe and LeBron right now. We'll have plenty of time to make those comparisons when when LeBron's career is over. Right now, he's still playing, last I checked, and he's playing for the Lakers. So we got to embrace that, and we got to hope that he wins championships. Prove to me how great you are, LeBron. Win at least one title here in LA, and then we could put you in the GOAT conversation. For now, he's not in that GOAT conversation. I don't care what nobody says. He's one of them, but he's not the. He's definitely not the. To me, it's Jordan, then Kobe, then other players. I'm not even going to put LeBron in the top 5 for now, for me. But that's my opinion. I know y'all going to call me crazy, especially LeBron stands. They're going to come out with their pitchforks. But at the end of the day, Kareem's up there. Magic Johnson's up there. I mean, there's so many players that have been great. Tim Duncan, people forget about him. There's plenty of players that have been up there in the top 5. And I think it's only fair that I don't put LeBron there till he's done with his career, and I evaluate how many championships he has, how many finals losses, what teams he did it with. I will say this. If LeBron was able to win a championship with the Lakers, he'll look really good in the GOAT conversation. You know why? Here's the thing. He won one in Cleveland. He won one in Miami. And if he's able to win one with the third team, I think he'd be the first player to do that. I don't think any player's ever done that before. So that would be crazy, right? So that's all I'm saying. He made the right move for his career to try to elevate it to the next level. Now he has to deliver. That's all I'm saying. He said, breaking news. The Lakers have fired Luke Walton and signed Chef Gordon Ramsay as Lakers' new head coach to learn how to play with more sauce and less salt and vinegar. I like that. That's pretty funny, man. He said Chef Gordon Ramsay. Dan, is there a chance that Brandon's career is over? Blood clots is no joke. It ended Bosch's career. You know what, Max? I don't want to make a single speculation about that. God forbid it, because, we love Brandon. God forbid it. First things first is health. I just want the kid to get healthy, and hopefully it's not a life-threatening issue, That's number one. And then we'll talk about his basketball career, but we really haven't heard enough details about that. So are you okay with Jimmy Butler if he signed with us this summer? Yeah, I'd be okay with it. Look, man, Jimmy has his issues, but on the court, he's a dog. And I'd be okay with that. Now, that's more of a B-list tier free agent. I want an A-lister, though. We should go for the top dogs first. Then, if we miss on those, then Jimmy Butler is definitely a valuable option. Has to be. We'll worry about the personalities later. If he comes with a bad attitude, then you can worry about trading him or whatever. I already know what people are going to say, but I still prefer KD, Kawhi, Kyrie, guys like that first, He said, did you read on the Lakers news? It said Luke said he wants to bring back Julius Randle and Brook Lopez, and I'm not defending him. It wasn't what? It is what it said. Yeah, I read about it, man. But again, who's leaking this stuff, man? Who's leaking it? That's all I want to know. I just want to know who's leaking this stuff. And then why are they leaking it? Why are they trying to sabotage the Lakers? One name comes to mind. That's Jim Buss. He was not happy about Magic taking over, and that's why he stepped down. So be careful, Laker Nation. Don't be fooled by everything you read. Don't believe half of what you hear, man. Don't believe it, because a lot of these rumors are coming from somewhere to sabotage the Lakers. I don't see why Luke or any of these guys would leak this stuff. If they did, they'd be jobless immediately. They're currently on the job and they're trying to fight for their jobs. Why? You don't talk crap about your boss while you still work for the company. That never happens. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it wasn't Luke or the coaching staff. And then who else is left? The one name that comes to mind is Jim Buss. So be careful. He could still be running things from within, trying to sabotage Magic Johnson to step back in there. So y'all got to be careful, man. I'll take a couple more questions before I get off, guys. This game's about to start in about, 14 more minutes? So I'm going to go set up for that. But I'll be back post-game, and let's see what we can talk about, man. Dan, I say we go for Kyrie and Middleton instead of KD and Kawhi. I don't even know if we would be able to afford both of them, but at this point, we definitely need to land some big names. Whatever they are, we'll see. Bulls are without Zach LaVine. Oof. Yeah, I mean, but they still have plenty of talent. They can still put up a fight. Dan, ¿qué hay que entre ahora ha pasado algo, Dan? No, nothing has happened yet, brother. The only news is that we signed Andre Ingram and that Kyle Kuzma's back. So that's just a little recap of what this video was about for the most part. This could easily be a Laker win, but it could also be a loss. So I'm telling you, if the Lakers are truly tanking, I could see them limiting LeBron's minutes. I could see them putting out some experimental rotations out there, and we'll see what happens. Bulls still got Otto Porter. He's a good player. Yeah, man, they got plenty of it's the NBA. Even no-name players can step up from time to time. So, if the Lakers do want to get this victory, they're going to have to play hard and smart. Yeah, Larry Markkanen's a beast as well. But we'll see what happens tonight. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys after the game for that post game, and we'll see what we talk about. Hopefully, Andre Ingram has a huge game. That's what I'm rooting for tonight. And, he's a great story. He's an inspiration for me because he never gave up, man. And he's still trying to live out his dream. So you got to love that. So go Lakers, man. Let's see what happens tonight. Catch you guys post game. Peace out.